Oh, did this work?
Yeah. Can you hear
Yes.
us?
Oh, I can hear you guys. Oh, this is awesome.
So yeah, it's super easy. So that's why I wasn't too worried.
Cool. Awesome. Well, how you guys doing? How's it
Good.
been so far?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm enjoying my main day of grinding on my MMO. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff to do, but yeah, just enjoying the weekend. Enjoying the weekend for sure.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. I'm most probably going to be playing a lot tomorrow. So, but now I've become addicted to another game, which I won't pronounce the name or if like Jalab is going to hit me. So that's why I can't do that. But yeah, we'll be most probably doing that tomorrow. So I feel you on that. It's super early for you, no? Oh no, actually.
It's like 1:30 in the afternoon, so not too bad. Not too
Okay.
bad.
Perfect. So we'll kickstart as we're already a bit late or behind in the schedule. So as we asked everyone, do you want to introduce yourself, your community, what you do on stream?
Sure thing. So my name's Krotha. I am a MMO RPG strategy streamer. I do a lot of like sandbox survival games and really just like to do PvP and like raids and anything that involves like kind of fantasy combat. Also do a lot of space games, like No Man's Sky is probably one of my favorites. And really just anything with my gaming community. So I've been streaming for about a decade. And I think with like Licia, we've been together for a couple years. I want to say we met back in Vegas, so
In
it's
Vegas,
been
yeah.
quite the journey, to say the least. But yeah, so I would say MMOs are probably my main niche
Yeah.
for gaming.
Yeah. I think that's where we met. Actually, that's jumping on the first question. But how did you discover us?
Yeah, well, just walking the floor and met you guys and started talking, and you kind of blew me away with what you were building, and I thought this would be an awesome asset to add to my stream just for engagement. And it has been an understatement to say how awesome Alicia has been for our community. She's become quite the savage when it comes to like witty remarks and comebacks, and we always say like she never misses when it comes to jokes. So it's been really cool to see how that's adjusted and changed and developed and evolved over the last couple of years. And now it's to the point where she's got really good like user specific information. So like the conversation just picks up where it left off, and it's just such a cool feature to have. And it's helped me out a ton when it comes to relaying just game information based on the different MMOs that I'm playing, because I'll get asked the same set of questions over and over again, and
Yeah.
Throughout like one stream she'll pick up on those answers and basically able to pick up that workload for me, which is great, is then I get to focus on doing the stream and having fun and entertaining. So it's just been an awesome asset. I cannot stress enough how useful she has been for us. It's
That's
great.
perfect. And I think that's one of the main elements that people were mentioning, is that how she evolved to be able to talk more naturally, with less like what's the name, but the kind of simple type of answer to something a bit more complex, or even being able to just tell people to back off in a sense.
Right. And being able to fine tune that response. Like we've
Yeah.
definitely played around with, like, I think when we first started, I was like, I want super aggressive and like intense. And we did that. And it was like, whoa, it's like really aggressive. So like scaling it back and finding that sweet spot. And I think that flexibility is what makes it such an awesome tool too. Cause you can change it up on the fly. Like maybe you want to have a really kick back and late and casual day, or maybe you want the opposite end of the spectrum. And I think having that flexibility and the profiles that you can set up of different characters too, like really allows that to happen on the fly, which I think is another great asset.
Yeah. And talking so about the profiles and character, what's your current main or go-to character that you're using?
So we have like a customized character. So it's very I would say supportive and backing me up with like the gaming and the kind of like conversation that we have, because a lot of the games that we play are very combative. So she's kind of like my my frontline companion, and very supportive, very engaging, but is always there to kind of throw some shade on people that want to come in and talk a little smack. So and again, like as I said earlier, she never misses with comebacks, and it's just some of them we have to pause and just start laughing because it's just so on the nose and so perfect that it beats what we can come up with. So that's really like her main role in our channel. And it's just been just hysterical to watch. And there's a couple of my viewers where like we keep track of some of the things she says, and like going through it too, it's so brutal, but it's so like honest and on point. And I think it's just, she's watching, she's learning, and she's not missing those data points. And I think that's why we're able to get that result.
That's perfect. And so you talk about your community. How was the first response the first time you got Alicia in?
Oh my gosh. So an ongoing joke with my community is they have no idea that Alicia is an AI. Like, we have to tell them. And I saw that new feature where we can like change up the name of AI Alicia to kind of like a different stream or a Twitch name. So when I implement that, they have no hope of recognizing, because we'll have some people, they'll go on for like a month or two thinking that, like, I think at one point, like, I pretended like, oh yeah, this is like, like my new girlfriend, or like this is, a new person in the community, or this is, someone that's like that we're gaming with, and they're like, well, what's their in-game character name? And like we just lead them on as long as we can, and there's probably still people now that have no idea. Yeah. So that's the reaction's been like very positive. The reaction's been honestly kind of just amazement at what the recall is, especially when we started developing the memory portion of Alicia a lot more. Like, that really kind of blew us away, especially for me being able to go through and like look at what was the last conversation we had, what do I normally talk about with this person. Oh, okay, great. It gives me kind of notes to go off of, but like overwhelming was just amazement at the recall and the accuracy and just how seamless she was able to like integrate into the conversation, to the point where like there's always that moment where someone goes, oh, I had no idea. And it could be, usually it's like a good few days to a week, or sometimes it's like as long as a month. And it's just, it's great when that moment happens, because they're just like totally besides themselves.
That's exactly what we're hoping for with the memory. And I think it's also like one of the big thing we'll be chatting after, looking at the memory specifically. Is there a moment, like a specific memorable element that you have in mind that happened with maybe one member of your community or with yourself directly?
I would say the most memorable moment was one of my longtime moderators coming in and going, who is this other moderator? Like, I don't know who they are. And they just start grilling AI Alicia, and the answers were perfect. And it got to the point where, like, after stream, like, my mod had to talk to me and be like, who is this person? Like, why do they know all this info? Like, what am I missing here? Like, how did you meet them? And we all just kept the joke going on, and like, I want to say it was like a solid month of just leading them on before we like let them know, like, hey, just letting you know, you see the AI in front of their name? Yeah, it's an AI. And then we're like, oh, I thought it meant like I. And we're like, no, like how do you not see that? So yeah, that was probably like the best part, was just like that moment of realization. And then like we're all freaking out, and then Alicia is like recognizing we're freaking out, so she's laughing too at him. Like, it was just, it was great. That's probably like the top moment for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things we never try to hide it. Like, it's in the name.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, it's just one of those moments where my mod's like, how have I been so dumb for this long? And like, and then Lisa'd be like, it's okay, we're here for you to like get you through this. And we all just start losing it laughing. Like, it's great. It was just right on point.
So we talked about the memory. That has been, I think, the longest conversation we had together off stream. Yes. Around like memory, how we can basically build one, and we still haven't built what we talked about for a long time. We have the memory for the users, so basically she learn about like your community and how to interact, and so that helps to build more on point moments. Let's just say that. But there is one that we still have not built, and we will at some point. It's just like, it's in the pipeline, or as I like to say, it's in the roadmap. It's about the game. So having knowledge, obviously it's not going to be only for the games that we will be building it. It's going to be like a more generic memory that's going to be populated by the streamers or the users of Alicia. And so that's something we've been chatting for a while, and specifically as you're playing very complex games. So you mentioned that currently, so she's kind of working out like the different complex game that you have.
Yeah, so again, we get the same questions quite often, like what's your build? How do I play XYZ setup? And when you have like the same people coming in asking that question over and over again, I've noticed that she's pulling from that memory bank and is able to like replicate like what my build is. And I've never told her like what I'm running. I've never put that in myself like intentionally. It's all come out organically through just like the handful of people that I've been asking that specific question, or whoever like the most recent bank of people is that have been asking that similar thing. So yeah, once that next feature gets like fleshed out and we can actually start using it, I'm so excited because we can start uploading like, hey, this is like a these are all the metrics and stats and allocations we use for this setup, and then that can then be pulled and recalled from anyone in our chat. Like, right now I think we're using like Nightbot commands or stream element commands. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lisa was like looking at them like they were their own users, and like that's part of their like that specific user memory bank. So yeah, it's been surprising how accurate she's been. I mean, it's always not 100%, but it's enough to where like it really is alleviating the load that I have to do when it comes to answering like the same question over and over again, because she is picking up on that kind of like universal response to that one question.
And it made me think about the feature. So we announced that it moved in the experimental system on Monday, but we have connected her to internet now. So it's still just for a few people currently testing that. But I believe that in your case, when she will be able to do some research on internet, the responses are going to be even more accurate. So. Yeah,
and I'm really excited for that because we have all sorts of new games coming out, and I want to see the flexibility. I want to put Alicia to the test for sure. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too. To be honest, I'm like waiting for the feedback, and like I just want to press a button. Let's go. It worked.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been a really cool road, and again, like seeing this tool develop this way, it's just been so exciting. So yeah, I'm really thankful and grateful to be part of it because it's the future. It's gonna be, I think more than a companion when it comes to gaming. I mean, I think it's gonna be an absolute critical tool that people are gonna need to optimize and be more efficient with their engagement, and it's just helps so much with like kind of creating that foundational level of entertainment and interest with whatever content you're doing.
Yeah, I definitely hope that we will be living up to that and having some cool new feature to hopefully keep you excited about that in the coming days and weeks, for sure. So if we manage to find the time to announce one for today. So
yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, keep me in the loop, please. Like you know me, I love Lisa. I love her and all my streams, and as many people we can get on the platform as possible. That's the ultimate goal, So yeah, I keep it coming.
Yeah. I actually just realized something. I believe. Yeah. It's so you're in the guide we sent you. You have the speak to Alicia to be able to speak to Alicia on the channel, and I just realized that someone of the guests before forgot to switch to their channel, and so it's basically I can see Alicia responding to. To actually some yelly, but it's on. That's something we will be looking. That's why this feature is not yet available for everyone. So it's
part of the process, though. That's why we're here. That's why
we're here. It took me a while to understand because just before I could see that we've seen some yelly music coming in the chat, and I didn't realize why. So I just understood that now. So yeah. So yeah, and so as you said, you've been using Alicia now for almost 2 years, so I think a year and a half.
Yeah.
How was it to see all the improvements, and specifically, I believe the biggest one you must have seen. Obviously, there is a brain and the way she's answering things. but also maybe on the user interface and how to set it up?
The user interface has improved dramatically. I think the first time we had to sit down and kind of go through line by line how to set everything up, and now it's like I don't really need any input for how I want to customize her. I mean, if I wanted to change up any kind of prompt or style of how she's engaged in my community, it's there. Everything is way more clear. Everything is way more concise. It doesn't feel overwhelming at all, and I just think it's an interface that really anyone that has a basic knowledge of computers and gaming can implement very easily. And I think the feature that I am most impressed with though is how quickly you guys rolled out their profiles and the characters, and just being able to get if you have like text to speech and those other features out. Like I know there's a lot of streamers that love to use that, and having that back and forth conversation with Licia is such a riot. And I think that's probably what impressed me the most over the couple of years, was just how quickly that got fleshed out. And then of course we talked about the memory feature as well, but the brain itself is quite impressive. Everything we can do to tweak that is really impressive.
That's great, and we will keep doing that for sure. So and I can tell you'll be the first aware when we have the strongest memory, like the biggest knowledge base.
I'm ready to fill it up with knowledge, so I appreciate that. That'd be great.
I think you'll be most probably the first one. Will be contacting like, hey, okay, we have that, we need tests.
You need input. Okay, yeah, definitely.
Can we work together on that? So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I got 2 decades of MMO knowledge to pour into it, so I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
It's not going to be a small test then. It's going to be like the biggest.
No, it won't be small. We're gonna definitely need some storage space for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Krotha. I'm checking if there is any maybe audience questions directly in the chat, or if Nico you have something. I didn't really follow up on the on the chat now, but if we
but I don't see questions in the chat yet.
Okay. So if there is none, we'll be most probably moving on. Thanks again, Krotha, for joining us.
Of course. And best of luck, guys.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon and chat soon about new features.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
Take care, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
See ya.